Hello friends, today we'll be working on chi-square test of independence. Chi-square test of independence is a statistical tool to check if the two variables are independent of each other or not. For example, if we want to check that gender has any correlation with regular exercising or not, then chi-square test can help us. If we want to check that if gender has any correlation with mathematical grades, that means are female students doing better in maths or male students are doing better at maths, then we could use chi-square test of independence. If we want to check that nationality of a person has any correlation with the number of meals a person has in a day, then chi-square test could be a tool to get an answer to this. Friends, these are 6 simple steps. So if you follow these 6 simple steps, your chi-square test would be done. These are the general tests to conduct chi-square test. So let's see what are these. You need to write the null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis being step 1. H with the subscript at the bottom is the representation for null hypothesis. H naught, read as H naught. So H naught here are that the variables are independent of each other. Then we have the null hypothesis. Then we have the alternate hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis is H1. That would here stand for that the variables are not independent of each other. Step 2. Mention the level of significance. Step 3. Find the degree of freedom using the formula number of rows minus 1 multiply number of columns minus 1. Step 4. Use your graphing display calculator to calculate the chi-square value. Step 5. We reject null hypothesis if your chi-square value from calculator becomes greater than the critical value. Step 6. State the final statement in context to the situation. Okay friends, after going through the 6 simple steps, let's see how we can apply those 6 simple steps in this example. Example is that we would like to check if gender and regular exercising are related to each other and the level of significance is given to be 5%. We got the data from 500 adults and the data is arranged in the table below. We have two categories, male and female, and we have two columns as regular exercising and not regular exercising. This kind of table, when the data is arranged, is called contingency table. This contingency table has 2 rows and 2 columns. So step 1, we need to tell whether what's the null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis. H naught, the null hypothesis is to be variables are independent. The two variables here we are studying are gender and regular exercising are independent of each other. Alternate hypothesis is that variables are not independent of each other. So we can say gender and regular exercising are not independent of each other. We are ready with both the hypotheses. Let's move on to the second step. The second step says state the significance level. Level of significance here is 5%. It's given to us in the question. Third step is to calculate the degree of freedom using the formula number of rows minus 1 multiply number of columns minus 1. We have already seen that our data has 2 rows and 2 columns. Hence degree of freedom will be 2 minus 1 multiply 2 minus 1. So 1 times 1, which is 1. Step 4. Calculate the chi-square value using graphing display calculator. So friends, if you want to follow the steps to calculate the chi-square value, please follow my link given at the bottom of the video. The chi-square value from the calculator is found to be 3.96. Step 5. Compare the chi-square value with the critical value and decide if null hypothesis needs to be rejected or not. It will be rejected if chi-square value becomes greater than critical value. We have already seen that our data is 1, has degree of freedom as 1, and 5% as level of significance. So the critical value here is 3.84 and the chi-square value was 3.96. 3.96 is greater than 3.84, hence H naught is rejected. Step 6. Write the final step in context to the situation. As we have taken the decision that null hypothesis needs to be rejected, that would mean gender and regular exercises are not independent of each other. So friends, for further example, keep watching my video.